Hello, my friends, and welcome back.
Yeah.
Today, we're taking a look at a clip where somebody says if an oppressed group of people tell you you shouldn't say a word that they consider a slur, you shouldn't. That oppressed group of people, of course, is fat people, and that slur is the word obese.
First of all, it's a pretty good rule of thumb that if an oppressed group of people asks you to stop saying a word they consider a slur, you should probably not say it anymore.
We're also going to be taking a look at a clip discussing whether or not it's okay for the school to send a letter home telling you that your kid needs to lose weight. Before we dive in, please click like and subscribe so that I may apply comb to mustache.
My kid got a B in my report card from school that says that he's overweight.
A BMI report card? What? The heck? It says that he's overweight. Did he get an F then on the BMI report card? I've never heard of such a thing. I have never heard of a BMI report card, but I'm guessing if the school has to get involved, things must have gone off the rails pretty badly. You could take this as some kind of warning sign. I would. When the school has to get involved, dude, we got a problem. It'd be messed up if that wasn't the case. If the school was just crazy and tyrannical and had like 90s, early 2000s beauty standards. Everybody has to be rail thin or you get a letter. You get a letter home like, Jessica will never walk the runway. Sincerely, Tyra Banks, top model. And you're like, what? How dare you, Tyra? You bitch. That show was that show was crazy, man. Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks was always breaking down. That's why I was starting to say Tyra Banks, because I was gonna say breaking down. So, but she was always yelling at people. She's always like, "We all believed in you." Like what? What do you mean you all believed in me, Tyra? What? What the heck? That's such a bizarre line that they gave you to say. You all believed in me? Like, what, you and the other producers? No, you didn't. What are you talking about? Shut up. You believed in me? What? No, you believe in money. What are you talking about?
Now I'm worried that he's unhealthy and that I look like a neglectful parent.
I'm worried that I look like a neglectful parent. That's the most important part right there. You don't want to look like a neglectful parent. Whether or not you are, who really cares, right?
Does he seem to have any problems with eating? No, not that I know of. He eats a pretty normal amount for an 8-year-old boy. Then what's the problem? I'm afraid that I have to put him on a weight loss diet to get his BMI to go down. Okay, first of all, definitely don't put him on a weight loss diet. No kid needs or deserves that.
What if he's very obese and he can't breathe or walk? That was a very broad statement he said. Don't put him on a weight loss diet. No kid needs that. What if he does need that, you know? What if he's like so morbidly obese that he's like going to stop living soon? I would say he needs that. We shouldn't spare our feelings if it means destroying our body. One of these things can be fixed just by talking it out, and the other one, no, it can't.
And it will interfere with his development.
Losing weight will interfere with his development. I would say being morbidly obese will interfere with his development. The idea that it's going to hurt you to lose weight if you're obese is ridiculous. Look, we can see her eyes looking just off screen. Yeah, I could see their eyes reading some kind of script or something just off screen. Who gave you that script? Ben? Jerry? I'm on to you, buddy.
Okay, noted, but how am I going to get his BMI to go
And you're doing this weird William Hornby style back and forth video. All of her videos are like this, dude.
down otherwise? You actually don't need to. But the school is saying that what the school is saying is wrong and
Yeah, take it from her, some random woman off the street. Are you approaching somebody randomly in the middle of the street with this speech? They were going to have their kid lose weight, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You don't need to do that. And they were like, wait a minute, who are you? And you're like, don't worry about that. I'm some random lady. Just shut up and listen to me. And they were like, oh, okay. And then you just started going on this speech about how your kid doesn't need to lose weight and everything is fine. And then they were like, oh yeah, sure. What the school is saying is wrong and misguided. Fuck the school. They want my kid to lose weight? That's dumb. Fuck you. So those morons down at the school want your kid to lose weight for some stupid reason. Who knows why? They were also teaching me some nonsense about gravity or some stupid crap that they made up clearly. I don't know, man. They got a lot of morons down there at the school. They got a whole science department full of idiots. Honestly, the dude down there tried to tell me all kinds of malarkey. Okay, it was Boulder Dash, my good sirs. Poppycock, I would say.
Misguided. Your kid's school also has no place talking about your child's weight.
Well, I can agree with you on that. They have no place talking about a lot of things, but, here we are.
Though they have good intentions, those intentions have a negative impact.
I feel the same way when they talk about other things. The school shouldn't be talking to your kid about any sort of stuff beyond arithmetic and whatever sort of scholarly stuff.
And are informed by systemic and social anti-fatness.
Oh yeah? Is that what's going on? Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The school is informed by systemic and social anti-fatness that exists for no reason.
Things that have no basis in science.
They have no basis in science. Okay. Let's have an obese person have a pull-up contest with somebody who's not obese. Let's see who can do more. If that's too crazy, how about going upstairs? And we'll see not only who can go up more, but how many more the person who's not obese can go up. Or just walking on a flat surface. Anything simple. You'll be astonished by how much further a normal person can go. A normal person can walk for hours. An obese person can walk literally for no more than 10 or 20 minutes. 20 minutes would be a ton, pun intended, of time for an obese person to walk.
So his BMI doesn't matter?
Why does it concern you, lady? You weirdo. Why did you wander in off the street to the schoolyard to start talking to these kids about this and the parents? Some parent was going to put their kid on a diet to try to better their life, and you stumbled in, drunk on your own sense of self-importance as a typical narcissist. And you're like, hey lady, don't do that to your kid. He could develop problems with his self-image.
For anyone, especially kids.
BMI doesn't matter for anyone, especially kids. Oh, that's weird because it was carefully developed because it did matter. It's really weird that you're targeting kids, lady.
It was never designed for use in healthcare. Definitely not.
What? What do you mean it wasn't designed for use in healthcare? What was it designed for then? The guy designed it just for the heck of it? Some guy got drunk one Saturday and he's like, we need this thing called the BMI. And they're like, what? Henry, dude, you've had too much to drink again. You're always getting too drunk and then talking about coming up with some chart that measures people's health based on their height versus weight and coming up with a way to standardize the results of measuring these metrics. And then he's like, shut up. One day we'll have such a scale. I may be drunk, but I know what I'm talking about. Oh, good old drunk Henry. The originator of the BMI. Not a lot of people know that.
Not designed for kids, and it is a failure of our current system that we apply to kids in the first place.
No, it's not. And it's pretty generous, The BMI isn't like, oh, you need to be stick thin, otherwise you're a total failure. It's very generous what it considers healthy, dude. If the BMI says that you are not healthy, you are not healthy. If it says you're too thin, you are too thin. If it says that you're too fat, you're too fat, dude. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good scale, I would say.
Your child's BMI does not matter, I promise.
Letting your kid be obese because you're too lazy and you don't have the testicular fortitude to put your foot down is not okay. If your kid is obese, it means one of two things. A, you lack knowledge about nutrition, or B, you lack discipline with your child. These both need to be corrected. You need to have healthy food in your house because you need to be eating it as well. And two, when your kid asks for this unhealthy food, you need to say no. And he's like, but mom, what about but I want it. It's like, listen, Junior, shut up, all right? No, you can't have it. And if they keep on whining about it, just say no. And then just walk away. Just say no and walk away. Don't over-explain. When you start over-explaining, they see that as weakness, and then they just keep asking, but come on, but why, but this, but that, but blah, 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 blah. So that's why you don't over-explain. You just say no. I said no, and you walk away, and you just leave it at that. You're not going to have any more ho-ho cakes. We're not going to McDonald's, Junior. If you ask me again, I'm going to suplex you, okay? I don't care what mom says. Now we're going to be taking a look at a clip where she talks about when the school tells you to put your kid on a weight loss diet.
Ma'am, your kid is in the obese BMI category. It is probably time to consider putting him on a weight loss diet. Sorry, what are you recommending to me?
You think my kid should be on a weight loss diet? Yeah, no, that's not a problem. How dare you? How dare you tell my child to shrink his or her body? Is that what's about to happen? Is that how we're supposed to respond? We're supposed to get all insane? They're like, sir, your child needs to lose weight for health. And I'm like, oh yeah? And you just get all insane. Like, whoa, that was completely uncalled for. I like it. You're very passionate. Thank you. I really care about my kids' education and stuff. Yeah, that's what that is.
Your kid needs to go on a weight loss diet. He's not healthy. See, you're messing with the wrong mother.
Really? This is how you respond when the school tells you your child needs to lose weight for their health? It's very Karen behavior to get mad at the school when they tell you that your child needs to lose weight or fix their grades. Both of those things are a reflection on you, not on the school. Seriously, you ever seen those parents who get mad because their kids got bad grades? Like, chick, what do you want? Like the school is just out to get your kid, right? They failed because they just didn't like your kid, or they told your kid to lose weight because they just didn't like your kid. Dude, don't be a Karen.
What do you mean? Well, as a doctor myself,
Dude, get out, all right? Get out of my school office or whatever. If you're a doctor and you don't want your kid to lose weight, or you get angry when somebody tells them to, when they're obese, you're not much of a doctor. First of all, why is your kid obese if you're a doctor?
I know that the BMI is an irrelevant metric in all humans, especially children.
If you don't think that the BMI is a relevant metric of health, or at least a general guideline, then I would question the validity of your doctorate, madam. Is that how people respond when you say that? When you say, I'm a doctor, and the BMI is nonsense, essentially. People just go, she said the word doctor. We have to believe her now. You could literally pull any title out of your rear end. And even if you are a doctor, it doesn't matter. You can be a bad doctor.
Furthermore, as a doctor who works specifically with patients with eating, encouraging a child to go on a diet is one of the worst things you could possibly do to them.
No, it's not. It'll be fine. They're not necessarily going to go down a dangerous path of unhealthy thinking patterns. We will teach them how to properly diet and exercise and not develop an unhealthy relationship with either. If we teach them how to have a healthy relationship with diet and exercise from a young age, they'll be less likely to have problems with these things later on.
But his BMI doesn't matter.
His BMI does matter. If they tell you your child is morbidly obese, let's pay attention to that, because they're not just pulling this out of their bum, okay? They're not just like, let's tell this lady that their kid's BMI is a problem for no reason, just to mess with it. Like, why would they do that? Hey, Frank, dude, I got a funny idea, dude. This is gonna be hilarious. Oh, yeah? What's that, dude? Let's tell this lady that her kid's BMI is completely out of control. What, little Timmy? But it's not, though. He's got a normal BMI. Yeah, I know. That's the funny part. I'm gonna get her. But why, though? Why? That's kind of weird. Just cuz, bro. Just cuz. Fuck her. It doesn't matter that he got all Fs. Yeah, actually it does. And so does his BMI, madam.
Prescribing weight loss for a child is as good as encouraging them to develop an eating.
It's possible to teach a child how to eat healthy, and that will result in weight loss.
The impact on development from nutrition restriction aside, the psychological burden of being told
nutrition restriction? No, we're not going to restrict nutrition. We're actually going to give them proper nutrition for once. Instead of McDonald's, we're going to give them proper nutrition, and as a result, they're going to lose weight because they're not going to have an abundance of empty calories. It will be a caloric restriction, but not a nutrition restriction. For once, they will be having proper nutrition.
Your body is wrong is devastating.
The psychological burden of saying that your body is wrong is devastating. You don't tell a kid, hey, your body is wrong. You say, oh, you gained some weight there, Timmy, because you were eating the wrong things. That's okay. We're going to fix it now. And here's how we're going to do it. And then we just proceed from there. That's how you take care of that.
But the American Academy of Pediatrics says they've proved to be an irresponsible, myopic organization that has lost the trust of the entire eating community that actually cares about preventing eating. They didn't do their due diligence, and children everywhere will suffer for it. Look, ma'am, I'm just trying to do my job. I get it, and I know part of that is following guidelines, especially as it relates to concerns for metabolic disease development. But these guidelines are not evidence-based and will actually cause more harm to children.
No, what you're saying will cause more harm to children. This is more of that nonsense like William was saying, where if you think about what you're eating at all, you're going to develop some sort of disorder. It's a bunch of nonsense.
Then protect them. Remember your oath. Do no harm.
Yeah, that's why they're telling somebody to lose weight, because they're trying to help them.
Think critically and practice with inclusive compassion.
This is clownery, okay? I know you said that you're a doctor, but I would definitely question the validity of that if you're going around telling people that their kids should be morbidly obese. His blood pressure is through the roof, he can't breathe, and you're telling me that he can't lose weight because he might develop this or that disordered this or that. Like, it's a bunch of nonsense.
To provide the best individualized care for every child.
Lady, get out of here. All right, we have one more clip from this same person.
I don't know why fat people are so up in arms about using words like overweight and obese.
First of all, it's a pretty good rule of thumb that if an oppressed group of people asks you to stop saying a word they consider a slur, you should probably not say it anymore.
Oh, yeah? And who gets to determine who's oppressed? They determined it themselves, right? So they determined that they are A, oppressed, and B, that the word is a slur and we're not allowed to use it anymore. Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't know we could do that. I didn't know we could just go around calling ourselves oppressed and then coming up with language that nobody else is allowed to use.
Gee, my apologies. Words like overweight and the O slur.
I like this little back and forth that you're doing, very much like William.
That's a lot better. So to answer your
That's a lot better, dude. Don't talk to me like that, lady. I swear to God. You're like coming at me with the wrong tone if you want to teach me something, okay? And this look on your face right here, like you're trying to school me with this knowledge. How very belittling. No thanks, madam.
initial question, those things don't exist, and their use in language and medical systems affect real harm.
Who gave you this script that you're reading from is what I would like to know.
What do you mean they don't exist?
Well, you cannot be overweight or the O slur because it's based on the BMI.
You can be overweight. And like I said earlier, the BMI is pretty generous. So if it says that you're overweight, you might have a real problem. You might not realize it because we see things from our own perspective, and it's very easy to get overweight and not notice because it's very gradual. I was very overweight and I didn't even notice, dude.
And the BMI is absolutely bogus.
It's not bogus. You seem very emotional about this and not scientific. Like your emotions are tied into this and you're not thinking about it logically. So,
But what is wrong with saying overweight and the other one?
nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong. The person that's yelling at you right now is personally vested in this because somebody said that they were overweight one time or something. So now they're going to yell at and lecture the rest of us and put the rest of us to sleep. When I was just walking down the street and this lady accosted me. I was walking down the sidewalk on my way to JCPenney, dude. And this chick accosted me and she's like, listen, obese is a slur. Don't ever tell your kids to lose weight. And I was like, what? Who are you? And then she just wouldn't quit. She's been following me for like 10 minutes.
Overweight in particular implies that there is a healthy weight for everyone.
Lady, for the love of God, my God, okay? Will you stop? Dude, the terminology exists for a reason. There is such a thing as overweight. The BMI is legitimate. Obese children are a real problem. If you allow your child to become obese, that's a problem. Maybe you screwed up. Maybe you didn't know about proper diet before, but it's time to fix that. It's time to learn about proper diet and change that for you and your child.
And that weight can be standardized. So does underweight. The truth is, we can't standardize what a healthy
Being underweight is an issue as well, for sure.
weight is. And the O slur comes from Latin meaning having eaten oneself fat.
Yeah. Obesus. Having eaten until fat. That's one of my favorites from that video with Aubrey Hoff.
So it fundamentally and linguistically comes with moral judgment and blame.
Right, who cares? You guys try to tie words to this or that, like to try to change the meaning or be like, some guy that said that one time did this thing, so therefore we can't say, like, dude, let's stay focused about what the word means here and now, okay? Like, one time a guy back in 1812 said it, and this and that happened, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, stay focused, please. And the rest of you, please pay attention to when somebody's trying to distract you with that kind of mind-rot nonsense.
Okay, sure, but just between us, what would be a healthy weight if we don't use BMI?
The most acceptable weight to be at is the weight you're at when you are feeding your body consistently.
When you're feeding your body consistently. Okay, so when somebody has a problem with eating too much all the time, if they're feeding their body consistently, that's fine and not a problem. And she says right here, and that can be any weight.
And that can be any weight.
Oh yeah? So like 600 pounds would be just fine. Okay, yeah, this is more of that nonsense. Health at literally any size, 1,000 pounds. It's funny that people like this and movements like Health at Every Size exist when there's also shows like My 600 Pound Life and 1,000 Pound Sisters. We live in a very confusing time.
Any weight? You sure?
Yes, any weight your body naturally settles at when you are eating consistently is a great weight for you.
Oh yeah. Any weight that your body naturally settles at, whatever that means. Your body will settle at whatever weight it is, the amount of calories that you burn versus intake, right? If you consistently keep eating and you're eating highly processed food, it's highly likely that you will keep gaining weight.
And no one should tell you otherwise, especially not based on BMI.
Sure they can. Your doctor or whoever at the school that looked at your child's BMI and tells you it's too much, they can look at it. They could tell you it's too much to warn you. All right, I disagree with everything that person said. The BMI is legitimate. It's a pretty good general tool, unless you're like a bodybuilder or something, but you would already know that it's not really relevant for you. It's a good standardized tool based on your height and your weight. And it's pretty generous. It's not like you're obese if you're just like slightly pudgy or something. It's a very big range. So this is a new person that I've discovered, another charlatan within the movement. Please click like. 1 like equals 1 mustache Komen. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.